Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market opening bell on Tuesday, September 9th, your 10-minute guide to the stock market. Hong Kong stocks rose steadily on Monday. The Hang Seng Index opened 22 points higher, briefly dipped 30 points to 25,387, then climbed, reaching a high of 25,664, with a gain of 246 points in the afternoon. It closed up 215 points or 0.8% at 25,633. The X-share index rose 64 points or 0.7% to 9,121, and the Hang Seng Tech Index gained 66 points or 1.2% to 5,753. Total market turnover was 286 billion Hong Kong dollars. Southbound trading turnover reached 155 billion, with net southbound inflows of 16.7 billion. Notable net buys included Alibaba 5.146 billion, Horizon Robotics 1.372 billion, Tencent 1.082 billion, Akasol 490 million, Meituan 415 million, WuXi Biologics 177 million, Innovent Biologics 158 million, and UBTech 134 million. Net sales included Kuaishou 859 million, PopMart 637 million, and Xiaomi 368 million. Statistics show southbound funds have net bought Alibaba for 12 consecutive days, totaling $24.668 billion. Meituan for 4 days, totaling $3.465 billion. Horizon Robotics for 3 days, totaling $3.211 billion. And net sold Kuaishou for 3 days, totaling $1.976 billion. Technically, the Hang Seng Index 9-day RSI rose to 58, but with a market turnover of $286 billion. Both indicators suggest upward momentum remains limited. The three major A-share indexes had mixed results. The Shanghai Composite Index rose 14 points or 0.4% to 3,826. The Shenzhen Component Index gained 76 points or 0.6% to 12,666. The Chinex Index fell 25 points or 0.8% to 2,933. Total turnover for Shanghai and Shenzhen markets was 2.4186 trillion yen. The renminbi central parity rate hit a 10-month high of 7.1029 against the US dollar, up 35 pips from the previous trading day, the highest since November 6 last year. China customs data showed exports and imports grew for the third consecutive month. In August, exports in US dollar rose 4.4% year-on-year, below the market's 5.4% forecast and 7.2% last month. Imports grew 1.3%, below the expected 4.3% and 4.1% last month. The trade surplus was 102.33 billion US dollars, above the forecasted 97.5 billion dollars, and last month's 98.24 billion dollars. Notably, China's trade product structure continues to optimize. From January to August, electromechanical product exports reached 10.6 trillion yuan, up 9.2% year-on-year, accounting for 60.2% of total exports. This included data processing equipment and parts, totaling 946.59 billion yuan, up 0.6%. Integrated circuits totaling 905.18 billion yuan, up 23.3%, and automobiles at 605.23 billion yuan, up 11.9%. Agricultural product exports were 472.55 billion yuan, up 2%. The China Chamber of Commerce for Import and Export of Machinery and Electronics predicts China's vehicle exports could reach 7 million units in 2025, with commercial vehicle exports exceeding 1 million units for the first time, with a more balanced overseas market distribution. Today, China will release data for the first 8 months of new renminbi loans. Forecast is 13.6709 trillion yuan, revised for first 7 months, which is 12.8709 trillion yuan. And social financing scale increment forecast is 26.565 trillion yuan, revised for first 7 months, 23.9907 trillion yuan. August M2 money supply is expected to rise 8.6% year-on-year, compared to 8.8% previously. Chinese media reported that Apple is collaborating with Alibaba and Baidu to introduce Apple Intelligence to the Chinese market by year-end via iOS 26.1 or iOS 26.2. Alibaba stock surged 4.2% to 137.3 Hong Kong dollars, and Baidu jumped nearly 9.5% to $106.2. Due to internal and external challenges, Apple delayed its planned mid-year launch of Apple Intelligence in China, but remains committed to the goal. Alibaba will continue as the foundational model provider for China's Apple Intelligence services, while Baidu's AI will support Siri and visual intelligence, akin to OpenAI's role in non-China versions. Alibaba's Quant3 Max preview, an upgraded version of 充一千问 outperforms its predecessor, with significant improvements in Chinese and English comprehension and complex instruction handling. Sunny Optical announced August mobile phone lens shipments of 115 million units, up 17% month-on-month, but down 7.1% year-on-year, driven by increased client demand. Vehicle lens shipments were 10.067 million units, up 19.3% year-on-year, but down 11.3% month-on-month, due to delayed shipments for some products at clients' request. Hong Kong property stocks surged, with Country Garden soaring over 14% after being included in the Stock Connect program. On September 5th, Sunshine introduced new property policies, relaxing purchase restrictions in non-core areas and removing distinctions between first and second home mortgage rates. Sunshine's policy relaxation is more significant than recent measures in Beijing and Shanghai. The oversubscribed IPO king, Da Hon Tech, stock code 2543, will debut today. In yesterday's pre-market trading on Phillip Mart, it peaked at 99 Hong Kong dollars and closed at $68.1, up 37.6% or $18.6 from its IPO price. Excluding fees, a 100-share lot yielded a paper profit of $1,860. Hesai Technology, a leading Chinese LiDAR company, began its H-share IPO yesterday, September 8th. The IPO boosted related Hong Kong-listed stocks. Hesai plans to issue 17 million Class B ordinary shares globally, with 10% for Hong Kong's public offering and 90% for international placement. The maximum offer price is $228 per share, aiming to raise up to 3.876 billion Hong Kong dollars, with net proceeds of approximately 3.706 billion dollars. Funds will be allocated as below: 50% for R&D, 35% for production capacity, 5% for business development, and 10% for working capital and general corporate purposes. Hesai's main products are LiDAR systems used in advanced intelligent driving vehicles, robotics, and autonomous fleets. Data shows Hesai has been the world's largest LiDAR supplier by revenue for the past 3 years. In 2024, it became the first LiDAR company to achieve full-year net profit non-GAAP, driven by economies of scale and reduced expense ratios. In Q2, robotics product deliveries reached 48,500 units, up 743.6% year-on-year, with cumulative first-half deliveries of 98,300 units. On US stock market, investors are focused on upcoming inflation data this week, with the August Producer Price Index PPI due on Wednesday and the Consumer Price Index CPI on Thursday. Tech stocks drove market gains. The Nasdaq hit a new high of 21,885, closing up 98 points or 0.5% at 21,798, also a record closing high. The Dow rose 114 points or 0.3% to 45,514. The S&P 500 gained 13 points or 0.2%, closing at 6,495. The Nasdaq's rally was led by chip stocks, with Broadcom up 3%, Nvidia up nearly 1%, reversing recent weakness. Amazon up 1.5% and Microsoft up 0.6%. EdTech firm AppLovin and trading platform Robinhood surged 11% and 16% respectively, as they are set to join the S&P 500 on September 22nd. On economic data, U.S. consumer credit in July rose by $16.01 billion, significantly higher than the revised $9.61 billion from the prior months and exceeding market expectations of a $10.1 billion increase. Markets anticipate a Federal Reserve rate cut at next week's meeting. Spot gold prices broke above 3,600 US dollars per ounce for the first time on Monday, reaching an intraday high of 3,646 per ounce. December gold futures peaked at $3,685. Meanwhile, OPEC Plus will increase production from October, but a 137,000 barrel per day hike is below recent increases and analyst expectations. Concerns over potential Russian oil sanctions also drove oil prices higher. NYMEX October crude rose $0.39 or 0.6% to $62.26. Brent November crude gained $0.52 or 0.8% to 66.02 US dollars. Our stock pick today is Hightide Theuapeutics, stock code 2511. Hightide Theuapeutics is an innovative biopharmaceutical company focused on researching and developing breakthrough treatments for metabolic diseases. Its core product, HDD-1801, is a global first-in-class new molecular entity, NME, designed to address cardiovascular, kidney, metabolic, CKM diseases. HDD-1801 is an oral anti-inflammatory and metabolic regulator targeting the gut-liver axis with a unique dual mechanism. It activates AMPK to regulate energy homeostasis and inhibits the NLRP3 inflammation to reduce systemic inflammation. These complementary mechanisms effectively alleviate metabolic chronic diseases and cardiovascular conditions. Supported by robust clinical data, HDD-1801 demonstrates multi-efficacy, delivering metabolic benefits such as improved blood glucose control, weight reduction, and lower lipid levels, as well as renal benefits, reduced system inflammation markers, and liver-specific benefits. Preclinical studies further reveal HDD-1801's potential in cancer prevention, anti-aging, and neuroprotection. The company believes HDD-1801 could become a unique broad-spectrum metabolic regulator used as a standalone therapy or in combination with approved treatments to optimize outcomes and meet patient needs. CKM refers to a complex health condition involving heart disease, kidney disease, and metabolic disorders, example diabetes, obesity. Despite progress in standard therapies, significant unmet needs remain in CKM-related diseases, as current treatments struggle to reverse kidney function decline, fully control metabolic abnormalities, or adequately address multi-system complications. With CKM-related diseases affecting nearly 90% of U.S. adults and 80% of Chinese adults, and a global diabetic population of nearly 590 million, the CKM treatment market is vast but currently underserved. urgently requiring innovative therapies. CKM's development is closely tied to chronic inflammation and metabolic imbalance, and HTT 1801's dual mechanism shows exceptional therapeutic potential. Clinical studies confirm its benefits across metabolism, kidney function, obesity, and cardiovascular complications, positioning it as a foundational treatment for CKM. Currently, HDD 1801 is under global development and expected to move toward commercialization this year for CKM related conditions, including T2DM, MASH, CKD, PSC, and SHTG. Beyond HDD 1801, the company is developing a pipeline of equally innovative drug candidates targeting 10 potential indications. Recommended buy price is 3.68 Hong Kong dollars, with target price $4 and a stop loss at $3.5. I do not hold the aforementioned stock.